Well, here I am. Hello, how are you today? This is my new fashion accessory. It's a cloth mask with a filter, comes with a replaceable filter, and it either looks good or like I have a terrible skin disease. But since I'm not outside, I can take it off. I really don't know if anybody else has this problem breathing with these masks. I'm not going to cut out the potential thing. But anyway, I'm lucky and fortunate. Somebody's been making these here, and I have two of them in different fashions. I have one hanging off my ear now. So I was talking to a neighbor the other day about this coronavirus or COVID-19. And one of the things he said, I said, "Well, how are you doing?" It's all we say anymore. It's like, "How are you doing? How are you doing?" Well, he was on his feet, and I was walking my dog and stopped, and he was out in front of his house. So I said hello. I had a mask. He didn't. Oh, by the way. And I said, well, so how are you doing? He said, well, yeah, da, da, da. And I knew that he was an artist, a retired artist. And so I said, well, are you working on anything? And he said, I'm not. And I've never done better in my life. I feel so liberated. And I went, I understand. It's like we don't have to compete anymore. And listen, both of us are retired. He's, God only knows how old he is, maybe 70. I'm going to have my 80th birthday in September, which is sort of a miracle, actually. A couple of miracles. And I thought the same thing. And I mean, except for people who are, you know, in the midst of it, which is a nightmare, a horror show, I think there must be more people like myself and my neighbor who in some way have been liberated, even though we don't really have to make a living anymore because I have pensions from the Writers Guild and from Social Security and investments that were not damaged by the stock market because I got out of the stock market in 2010. And everybody said to me what a stupid fool I was because look at all the money I could have made between 2010 and 2000 when the market started to crash. But I've always just felt the market was like a casino. I really remember a very, very rich a male friend of mine saying to me, he said it's just a gamble. And I thought, I'll just put my money. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough if there were an emergency to be in the bank and leave it there. And now I'm very, very happy that it's in the bank and left there. While other friends of mine who had a fortune in the market have lost like three-quarters of it. Listen, nobody knows what's going to happen. But I think on a day-to-day basis, which is what I'm interested in right now, I mean, look, that's really all we have. We never like to think about that. We never really like to think about it. This is what you have, maybe this minute. Who knows? I could drop dead right now on camera, and that would be depressing because there'd be nobody to post it. Even at the end, I would be thinking, oh, I need to get this on YouTube for my last moments. Listen, I am in another country, which I advise you, if you are not if you are in the United States, to try and figure out how to get out. I figured out a long time ago how to get out because it was very clear to me in 1980 when Ronald Reagan got elected that things weren't going to get better. They were going to get worse. They were going to get worse for women. They were going to get worse for people of color. And they were just going to get worse because they were monetizing everything and destroying the unions. And I know a lot of people out there hate the unions because, Jimmy Hoffa and the Teamsters. And, they're not the greatest. Okay? But given the alternative, kind of rather have a union. And I do. And that's one of the reasons I could retire to a beach house in Mexico. Think about it. Let me see. What else is on my little brain this morning? On my big brain this morning. That might be it. I feel very, very fortunate. I moved back to the beach house because the reasons I moved to the city went away. Everything got shut down. In fact, if you're trying to get into Mexico right now, you better have a proof of your residency here or they're turning people around, which is so amazing and somewhat karmically correct. They're stopping people. If you have residency, they'll take your temperature, stick a thing at your forehead and let you in. But if you don't have residency, you can't prove that you should be here, go back to where you came from. Because where you came from is a high risk area. And what we have down here it's a little bit less risky, unless you're in Mexico City, in which case it's almost, well, nothing's as bad as New York City. It's bad. So we want to avoid getting sick. But most of us older people, us seniors, we basically have accidents. So for someone like me, the main thing I worry about on a day-to-day basis is don't fall down. Don't fall off this stool. Don't trip. Oh, by the way, I love that thing, the difference between tripping and falling. I remember a comedian saying, he said, I fell the other day. And he said, the difference between falling and tripping? He said, I'm over 40. When I was younger, I said, oh, I tripped. And now he said, he's over 40 and he fell. You don't want to fall. That is what kills most elderly people. So keep that in mind. I did my yoga this morning for balance. Keep your balance. Stay safe. I love you. See you soon.